I've received a lot of questions regarding my interface with icons that people don't seem to recognize. That's because a lot of these are custom installed scripts. This is probably the most powerful aspect of Anime Studio, is that it allows you to, if you know the programming language, to make some pretty cool scripts that add a lot of extra functionality to Anime Studio. I myself don't know how to actually write a script. I'm not that conversant with them, but I have found quite a few scripts that are really nice and work well with my workflow. Thought I'd take some time and actually explain a couple of these. You might see a couple you might want to try yourself. You can find most of these scripts in the scripting section of the Lost Marble forum, and looking through that, you should be able to find most of these. A couple of these, though, are from the Animators forum, from their VIP section, which requires you to have 50 valid posts before you're allowed into that section. They don't want people just coming in and robbing all their scripts and leaving out. They want people to actually participate in their forum, which is kind of, I guess, a good thing. Let me explain a couple of these ones that I do have installed that you might find interesting. This first one up here, right here in the other section, is Ramon's Lost Layer tool. By activating it, if you see up here in the tool options, I get a whole bunch of icons. What these icons are all the settings that you would find if you double clicked on a layer in the layer palette. All these settings here under these different tabs are all up here. Just makes it easier so you don't have to keep going into the layer, double clicking to get access to some of these settings. Let's see, another script I've got, which is one that seems to throw a lot of people, is this one done by Hey Sadist. Hey Sadist, however you want to say it, Sadist. It incorporates a bunch of additional drawing tools, really nice ones with some customization to them. You have a radius drawing tool, which allows you to draw out a partial circle up to almost a 360-degree circle. So if you want to leave out a pie shape, this also has an oval shape and a polygon shape, star. My favorite, which is just a line, as well as a sine wave and a grid. Now every single one of these shapes has some options that allows you to increase or decrease the number of points involved in it. So you have quite a bit of flexibility in creating some nice shapes. Some of these other scripts I've got installed. Let's see. The Instant Limb tool, done by Pony Smasher. This one is a really nice little script for those of you who want to make a character. Show it to you real quick. I have a vector layer attached to a bone layer. In my bone layer, if I was to make a 2-bone chain like you would if you were making an arm, I go back to my vector layer, click on my Instant Limb script. I will get some settings up here which will allow me to adjust it, but click once and now I have an arm. A really nice arm already created. This could be something that you could use to also make a leg, and it's an easy way of setting up a character. Some of these other scripts I got. This is a reverse keyframe script. So if I was to rotate this bone up, we got to add a keyframe at frame 1. Okay, I rotated the bone up, and then I wanted to rotate this arm bone back, but then I wanted it to reverse itself, the arm straighten out and then lower itself. I can use this script. Give it an interval between the motion. Now if you watch, up, down. So that's kind of a neat script. Another really nice script is the nudge keyframe script, which allows you to move keyframes, multiple keyframes. It's a handy little script. It's got a whole lot of extra functions to it too that you'd have to play around with. Too many for me to actually go into right now. Another really nice script I've got that I use almost all the time is a key skeleton script that Mike Kelly on the Animators Forum has done, and it basically places a keyframe for all bones in the translation, rotation, and scaling channels. So if I click on that once, you'll see these keyframes have all been added. It's kind of like an extended version of the freeze pose, which only adds a keyframe to the bone rotation channel. Let's see what else we got. There's a couple of icons here you see for the morph dial script. Pony Smasher has a couple of other really nice scripts. His point time machine and his bone time machine, which allows you to get keyframes from earlier in your animation where there might not be a keyframe but you want a specific position. That comes in handy. He's also got a draw raster script. That's very interesting. There was an old forum member, Physique, who re-scripted a lot of the original tools and added some extra functions to them, like say his magnet, which allows you to, a normal magnet would just be like that, but with some options I can actually have two magnets going on, so I can move points in opposite directions, getting kind of a mirrored magnet move. Let's see what else we got. This is Mike Kelly's Swiss Army tool, which allows you to do a whole bunch of functions with just one tool, such as scaling bones, rotating, translating. All this is done by pushing the mouse button plus control or shift, and it's kind of a nice, instead of you having to break off, go to one tool, break off, go to another tool to do some of these things. Some of these others really don't want to get into because, like I said, they're from the other section of the VIP section of the Animators Forum. But I do have some others installed as menu scripts, As you can see, I've got a whole bunch extra ones up in here. A couple of them I bought from the Content Paradise site, done by Rudiger. Really nice scripts. My suggestion to you is just to go through and play with some of these scripts. You might find some that you really like, that work real well. Here's an interesting one that a forum member on the other forum has done. It basically makes mountains and hills, so that if I wanted to have a quick and easy way of making some mountains, that's one way. He's also got a script it's a house builder. It's an easy way of building houses. That's a kind of a cool script idea that he's got going on. What else we got? There's actually quite a few, such as the where was it? Pony Smasher's Cycle Offset script. That's a nice script, which he's got a video on his website. If you go into the scripting forum, you'll see a link going to his website, where he's got a lot of other scripts listed on there and some of the videos for it. So that's kind of just an overview of some of the things you can do with scripting. I hope it kind of encourages you to get adventuresome and try some of these scripts, because some of them are really interesting and can really speed up your workflow, make it easier to animate, and they're really not that hard to install.